Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast which talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them over a nightly beverage. I'm your boy, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here, as always, by my Colorado queen, Kat Halstead, the author. Welcome back for our bonus boo. Oh, yeah.
Yes, our bonus boo.
Yeah, you were probably, if you listened to the last week's episode, we told you that Boy Meets World was coming up next, but guess what? We lied. It's coming next week. Or this week? I don't know.
I don't know when it's coming, because I don't know when you're posting anything. I just know you're like, hey, let's do this as a bonus.
All right, so
I was like, okay.
Here's the deal. So we recorded like a majority of our Halloween episodes in like late August, early September. And we were like, it's pre-Halloween, right?
Yeah.
We're not really into it yet. Like in the real world wise.
Yeah.
And as I started releasing the episodes, I'm just like, you know what? I'm like not like, cause like we're actually recording like December episodes now. So I'm like, oh, I just still want to like talk about Halloween though.
You're like, I just want to be in the Halloween world, surrounded by my Halloween decorations while talking about Halloween.
Exactly.
TV, cartoons, etc.
Exactly. So we just decided to do like a quick episode, just like a fun little short, an animated short.
Yes.
Not a duck tail, a mouse tail?
That's one way to put it.
All right. So I know our gal pal Heather, our biggest fan. We love you. We support you 100%. She always wants us to do more Disney. So we decided to do Disney, but we're going to go like way back. We're going to go back to the days.
Way, way, way back. We're in the time machine, and it's going... And we're going back, and Patrick's looking at me like I'm nuts.
I was going to comment on your great, amazing noises, your time machine noises.
Okay.
Like, move over Doctor Who. Move over Doctor Who, like...
Fuck Doctor Who.
Yeah, you should be the new sound effect person for Doctor Who. Have you thought about applying to BBC?
No.
You should.
If I were to work for the BBC, I'd want to be on, like, a remake of Are You Being Served?
That or like an Agatha Christie, like made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
That's like all my BritBox. I got like an email today from BritBox. It was like, hot new like murder mystery month, and it's all like Agatha Christie things. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, you know what? I need to start watching these. I don't know. Apparently they're all the rage.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
I'll let you know. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so Disney. Yeah. So I happen to own like a weird DVD that I bought like years ago.
Yes.
Mickey Mouse Black and White, Volume 2, or it's not Volume 1. It's like another volume. It had this one cartoon on there that for some reason I was just really drawn to. I'm just really like fixated by it. It's called Mickey Mouse's The Haunted House.
Yes.
And so prior to me sending you the YouTube link, were you familiar with this at all? Were you aware of this?
I think I have seen clips of it in, like, those old 1980s Disney, like, TV specials.
Okay.
Like, they did a Halloween special, like, and they put clips of Disney cartoons to, like, Halloween pop songs, like Michael Jackson's Thriller or something.
I was gonna say, what's the most like Halloween poppiest song ever? Like that one in the 80s? Like...
I would like to point out, I'm pretty sure that special came out in like 83 or 84.
I feel like we watched it for the podcast, or we talked about it in the Sleepy Hollow episode at least. I think because I definitely brought up that segment about the cat lady that's in it, like that really frightening cat lady.
Like we've talked about it. It's possibly on YouTube, but I don't think so. It's one I want to check down.
I'm going to go into archive.org after this, and I'll probably find it in like an hour.
The new love of your life.
Oh, yeah. I stand archive.org. Get ready for like a lot of weird episodes coming soon to the podcast, by the way, because I get bookmarks.
I accidentally created a monster.
A Frankenstein monster for Halloween. All right, so...
A Patrick Stein monster.
All right, so Mickey Mouse's The Haunted House. This was originally released on December 2nd. Yes, December. This was a hot December release in 1929. Where were you? Where were you?
Not born yet.
I don't even think my grandfather was born yet.
My grandparents were born on my mom's side. But they were little idiots.
You know this podcast in math. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out math.
Yeah, like, dude.
It's more than 90 years ago.
Dude, it was like...
All right, hold on. I got the math because 2018 was the 90th anniversary of Mickey. I remember that for some reason. I don't know why. So 2019. What year are we in now? 2020. We're in 2020. Sorry.
We're in 2020.
All right, so 90.
It was 91 years. I was right. I did the math on my calculator, and I'm right. 91 years.
Shout out to Cat's Calculator. Hashtag cat math and pat math. Apparently.
Hey, I had it right. I just had to check.
Counting with your hands.
Old school math. Not this new math.
91 years ago, our boy Walt Disney decided to come out with Mickey Mouse's The Haunted House. So this is not the first Mickey release. We'll get to it. I have a whole list of things to get through.
He does.
He does. I did some hot research today, so get ready, guys.
I'm glad one of us did some research.
Before we get into the episode or just the whole story, are you ready for a spooky fact?
Yeah, let's get a spooky fact.
All right. I read this. This was a YouTube comment on the episode that we're doing today.
Okay.
So someone wrote, "There's more skeletons on Earth than there are humans." And I thought about that for a minute, and I was like, whoa, they're right.
Yeah. Well, think about it. There's not just human skeletons.
Just think of...
There's bird skeletons, dinosaur skeletons, animal skeletons, fish skeletons, alien skeletons.
Alien skeletons for sure, 100%. The truth is out there.
100%.
Trust no one. All right, so you're thinking The Haunted House by our boy Walter Disney. You're probably thinking of skeletons dancing around. Am I right, girl? Am I right?
Oh, 100%.
And this might sound familiar. This might you're like, wait a second.
I know this. I know I've seen this. At the very least, I've seen it remixed to the Monster Mash.
Ooh, to the Monster Mash, really?
Pretty sure.
Ooh, I might have to check that out. Is it on YouTube?
Pretty sure it's on. It is.
Boris Pickett, is that his name? He sings the Monster Mash, I think it is. Side note, have you ever heard the Christmas version of the Monster Mash?
Wait, what?
Oh, it's called Monster Holiday. It's an actual song. It came out right after the Monster Mash. It's the same band, and they just tried to keep the train rolling. It's great. There's a music video with it. It's Frankenstein serving eggnog and stuff. Oh, it's wonderful. It's amazing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you know how tempting it is to press play right now?
Just bookmark it, add your little watch later symbol.
Yeah.
Watch it. Watch it after we do the spoiler alert, I Love Lucy Christmas episode.
Yes.
Speaking of skeletons, we're going to go back to skeletons. We're going to save the Yuletide for 2 months from now. Even though Hallmark is playing Christmas movies at the moment. Ignore us.
They are. And I may or may not have them recording on my Hallmark app.
So The Haunted House, it's basically just a remix of the Skeleton Dance, which was one of our boys' Silly Symphony productions. You know Silly Symphony, right? You're familiar with Silly Symphony?
Oh, totally. I love Silly Symphonies.
Not to be confused with our actual Mickey cartoons. This is just animated shorts produced by Disney. Mm-hmm. It was a 10-year span, covered 1929 to 1939. And it was all just... It's basically a music video, a 1920s, 30s music video.
Yeah.
They were all independent releases. They didn't feature recurring characters, except for the 3 little pigs, the tortoise and the hare, and the 3 orphan kittens.
It's a tortoise and a hare, not a tortoise.
Tortoise?
Is what you said, yeah. It's a tortoise.
A tortoise.
Yes.
Not a tortoise. I'm sorry, girl. Fucking sue me.
Bitch.
Sue me.
Don't tempt a girl.
All right. I mean, you lawyer up. You gonna get Denny Crane after me?
No, I'd send Alan Shore.
You know what? I would welcome them both. I'd be like, take me for what I am. Take me for what I have, which is $200 in savings. You can have it. All right. So all those aforementioned shorts, those are the only ones that had sequels. Everything else, it was a weird thing about trees. Do you remember that one? A season of trees or something?
Flowers and trees?
Yeah, flowers and trees. Yeah. Do you remember that?
And then Babes in the Wood, or Santa's Workshop, The Pied Piper, The Grasshopper and Ant.
Oh yeah.
The Goddess of Spring.
These were all staples from my childhood.
Oh yeah.
And yet I feel like no child today knows this. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a crime.
3 Little Pigs cartoon, right?
Yes.
I feel like every little boy goes through a period of time where they're fucking obsessed with it.
The actual Disney cartoon, the Silly Symphony?
The cartoon, the story, they the 3 Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf are every freaking thing to little boys at some point. Didn't you have that, like...
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good story. It's a good story. I'm not going to lie.
I got two stories about this. One, my little brother, who is now 37 years old.
Shout out to Mark, who's now 37.
Has never even heard of this podcast.
No, he's listening to Korn. Is he still listening to Korn?
Probably. No, ICP.
Oh, ooh. Are they still around? Are they still a thing?
They were here in Colorado Springs like a year and a half ago doing a concert.
Oh, we talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it because my friends were supposed to open for them, and then they, their management, kicked them off.
Yeah, they were also supposed to write our theme song for us, and I don't know, where the fuck are you guys?
One of them left the company, and the other's, in HR now.
Oh, I thought you said country at first, and I was like, whoa, was he really upset about Trump?
No.
He actually did move to Canada?
No. So my little brother Mark was, obsessed with the Three Little Pigs. What comes with the Three Little Pigs?
The wolf.
The big, bad wolf.
And the cute grandma.
My brother was very obsessed with the big, bad wolf, to the point where he had several birthday cakes with the big, bad wolf that my mom hand did.
Ooh, do you have pics of them? Do you have, hot pics that you can put up the Instagram?
I haven't been able to find them. I think I have one somewhere. I gotta find them.
Did you get the pic of my Wolfman donut from Krispy Kreme?
Yes, you sent me that.
Was it similar to that?
No, it literally looked like the Disney Big Bad Wolf. My mom would we had these Disney storybooks, hardbound, thick volumes of Disney stories.
Oh yeah.
In storybook form.
Yeah, I think I had them too. Were they ones you get at the grocery store every week? They had a new one.
Maybe.
Was it that?
But they were
Do you remember those books?
I remember those. I definitely had those for Sesame Street, because this is when green stamps were still a thing.
Oh yeah.
So we had these Disney books, and they were hardbound. They weren't thin books, but they were thick books. So they'd be they'd probably have a bunch of stories in one, and the illustrations were of course shots from Disney,
yeah,
the movies or the cartoons or whatever. And my mom took took the book, and she, for my cakes, would do Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty on my cakes, and for my brother it was always the big bad wolf, and she would hand draw it out in the icing.
I have a question. I have a hot question for you.
Okay.
What year was these? What year did this cake was baked? What year?
Probably 86, 87.
Okay, so we're early. We're pre-Batman. We're pre-Ninja Turtles. Where things really started cooking.
Yeah.
In the boys department.
It's right on the cusp of He-Man.
Okay, all right. I mean, because I was kind of confused, because I was
yeah,
this is a weird time frame. Because I'm 1989 rolled around, Batman took over my life, and then Ninja Turtles was a thing for a while.
My brother went through He-Man, Batman, Ninja Turtles, Dick Tracy, all of it.
And apparently the Big Bad Wolf.
Yes. Okay, so flash forward years later.
He huffed and he puffed.
Years later, okay? Axton is now 3. I was with him all the time.
Your nephew, by the way. Your nephew.
My nephew, yes.
For our new fans. For
those who haven't been around, yes. My adorable nephew. One day at lunch, trying to come up with a story to tell him, and to kind of get him not paying attention to the formula being fed through his tube.
His feeding tube.
Yeah, no, he has a feeding tube. Sorry, I forgot that not everybody knows.
Yeah. Shout out to Todd from Kansas, who just started listening today.
And he's what the fuck is this?
He doesn't know who Axton is, or they're talking about feeding tubes? What?
So, he's getting his formula, and I start telling him the story of the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs. And of course, Axton takes after my brother and is obsessed with the big bad wolf. He is so obsessed that for Halloween that year, he was the big bad wolf.
Ooh, you know what? I think I remember seeing a pic. I remember seeing a hot pic of it.
I made that freaking costume.
Oh, you know what?
I made that costume. I painted his face to look like a wolf. He had this awesome hat. It was
yeah, I remember it.
He had this awesome hat that I put ears on. It's actually, I think, possibly the picture we have on the website.
Yeah, it might be.
For Salty Rock Media.
It could be. It's probably on there.
Little boys love the big bad wolf.
I mean, I'm gonna throw this out there. I think I kind of like the big bad wolf too.
Yeah.
It even kind of stuck with me all those years. Because remember when that Kiefer Sutherland, Reese Witherspoon movie came out that was a take on the Big Bad Wolf?
Ooh, kind of vaguely, but not fully.
I want to say it was called Frequency. No, not Frequency. Road, something with the road. Trespasser or The Hitchhiker. I don't know. It was a great movie. Frequency was a movie with
Julia Roberts?
the guy who played Jesus.
Oh, I don't know.
That was a movie with the guy who played Jesus, Jim Caviezel, and he like talks to his dead dad like through a CB radio, like from like 50 years ago. I'm like crossing movies. Anyway, but
I just remember when Port Charles did that with like the CB radio thing.
But hold on, I gotta look up the name of this Kiefer Sutherland movie because it's driving me nuts. Hold on. It's called Freeway, by the way. Freeway.
Freeway?
Yes. So it's basically like a hot take on the Big Bad Wolf, except that Kiefer Sutherland is like an allegory for the Big Bad Wolf, and Reese Witherspoon is like Little Red Riding Hood, but she's not Little Red Riding Hood. It takes place in like, I don't know, like 1996 LA.
Yeah, like it's from 1996. A twisted take on Little Red Riding Hood with a teenage juvenile delinquent on the run from a social worker traveling to her grandmother's house and being hounded by a charming but sadistic serial killer and pedophile.
Yeah, so it kind of puts like a weird spin on the Big Bad Wolf. So I don't know. So I guess I do like the Big Bad Wolf in theory.
In theory.
But we're not here to talk about the Big Bad Wolf today.
We totally went off completely randomly, but that's our brand.
It's all right. Barb on Twitter is going to send us a shit post, so we welcome it.
Whatever, Barb.
Anyway, before the haunted house, as I said, there was the skeleton dance. Mm-hmm. Actually, I haven't even gotten there yet. Anyway, the skeleton dance was the very first Silly Symphony. This was released like a few months before, on August 22nd, 1929, and it was about 4 skeletons who dance and prance around a spooky graveyard. Very reminiscent of Dance Macabre, which was an artistic genre of like the late Middle Ages that was inspired by death, like the personification of death.
Yeah.
And I guess it had a cheerful revival in the late 20s because Disney, they were all around this. So you want some like fun, quick facts about the skeleton dance? I know we're not doing the skeleton dance, but why not, right?
Yeah, but let's just drop it.
Yeah, we'll never get to it. So in mid-1928, our boy Walt, he was on his way to New York City. He wanted to work out some hot distribution deals for Mickey Mouse, and he actually was going to record like the soundtrack to Steamboat Willie. And I don't know, like I guess he was like near Kansas City, and he was going to visit his old boy, Carl Stalling, an OG Disney guy who eventually betrayed him. Yeah, he betrayed our boy Walt, and he formed Merry Melodies. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah, I know some Merry Melodies. I know those quite well.
Yeah, you see that name, Carl.
I think most of our listeners do.
You see the name Carl Stalling, like probably underneath it, right? You probably seen like directed by Carl Stalling.
Maybe. I don't think I ever actually pay attention to names.
I don't know. When I was doing my hot research, it like looked familiar. So anyway, he stopped into Kansas City. He wanted to visit his old boy Stolly. Shout out to Stolly. And Stalin's like, hey, while we're on the subject of like trying to do these like cool, fun, like silly symphony things, I got an idea. Like this is just a crazy idea I got. I think we should do something about skeletons dancing in a graveyard. And Walt's like, okay, yeah, I think you're onto something. So he went with it. They did it. Skeleton Dance was a hit. Critics loved it. Variety magazine, they were fucking like, whoa. You want a quick excerpt from a 1929 issue of Variety magazine? Because I got it.
Let's go for it. Bring it on.
All right.
Bring it on. All or nothing.
Yeah, not with Kirsten Dunst. With somebody else. I don't know who.
Abby Ryland?
All right, so our boys at Variety in 1929, they had so much to say about the skeleton dance. They said, the titles tell the story, but not the number of laughs included in this sounded cartoon short. And then a few more sentences, and then the closing sentence is, don't bring your children.
Don't bring your children.
Ooga.
Okay.
I love it, because you know what? The visuals, like even in the haunted house, we'll get to it. The visuals are kind of like frightening. They're kind of they're unsettling. Like I definitely remember watching this as a child, or not just the skeleton dance, but the haunted house, and just having nightmares about like the hooded, cloaked figure. Yeah, it stuck with me. It definitely sticks with me. And anytime I see anyone in like a cloak, like Cloak and Dagger, like the bad guy from Star Wars. Like I just think of this. Like he's the OG cloaked guy.
I don't even know who the guy's name is. Why am I pretending like I know? Never mind.
You had something? Should we brainstorm?
I was gonna say it's not Darth Maul, and then I like completely blanked on who it could be, and I'm like, I don't really care.
No, hold on. Emperor Palpatine.
Yes.
But I definitely get Emperor Palpatine vibes from the cloaked figure in the haunted house.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's kind of exciting. I don't know. I just love like the whole story of early Disney because Mickey Mouse cartoons, they were released concurrently with Silly Symphony. So like our boy Walt Disney and his crew, they were just like pumping out cartoons left and right, nonstop.
Oh, the archive. I love watching old Disney cartoons. Like I'll pull up the Disney Plus app and like go into the shorts and just pull up a couple of old stuff, you know?
Yeah, like the first three Disney Mickey Mouse cartoons, not even Disney, just Mickey Mouse cartoons are wild. So you got Steamboat Willie, you got Plain Crazy, and the Galloping Gaucho. Steamboat Willie is the first one with sound, but Plain Crazy and Galloping Gaucho, like they're silent. They're like the first two that are actually released. They're really like rubber hosey. Do you know that style of animation? The rubber hose style?
The arms are super long and they like kind of just like bounce around and there's no wrists. So they're just kind of very fluid.
Yeah, they're really like wavy. They're kind of like bringing it back with Cuphead.
I don't know what that is.
It's my friend Carolyn works on the show. She told me about it. She said it's a Netflix cartoon that is based on like a video game, but it uses like 1920s style animation. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by it. It's coming out soon.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, Walt was kind of like over the rubber hose style. He kind of wanted to like move away from it, but he only went with it because it was popular at the time. Popular, sorry. So he wanted to have his animations more realistic and have the characters move in ways that are more realistic. So have you ever watched... I remember watching this like years ago, but I just like watched it yesterday. Have you ever watched the short film? It came out in the late 1930s, and it shows how Disney animations were made, and it's lined up with the release of Snow White. Have you ever seen it?
I think I have.
Okay, it's a short. You can find it on YouTube now. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's like how Disney animations are made. It has that like a world at war kind of sound to it.
Okay, like a whole like newsreel.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
Yeah, and they go into Hollywood or wherever Disney Studios is, and they do kind of like the tour of the studios. And it's like this small building. It's not really like this huge empire that we think of it as today. Probably, I don't know. It kind of looks like the school from 90210, to be honest with you. It looks like West Bev. And it's this building. It has like a campus. It's not like fences around or anything, and you just see like all these guys. They're like just sitting at desks, and they're standing in front of mirrors, and they're like acting out facial expressions. They're doing dances
because they would do that for like all the Disney movies. They'd bring in someone. They would film them too.
Yeah,
so they could watch the way the skirt would flow as someone danced or moved, or the way hair bounced in a certain style.
Yeah, so they didn't just want to do like these long limbs. They actually wanted to see how human bodies moved.
Yeah.
And it's really evident in the skeleton dance. Mm-hmm. It's very... And even in the haunted house, we'll get to it. So we keep like teasing this.
You know, I was watching and I was just wondering, it's like, how did they decide this is what the skeletons look like?
What do you mean?
You know, when they're drawing, they're like, okay, this is what our skeletons look like. They've got these round features. You know what I mean? It's just weird. I don't know. It was just
like living human features?
Okay, I know there are like anatomy classes and stuff, but I was just like...
Like, how do they know what a skeleton looks like?
I don't know. I'm really blonde today, okay?
I mean, the whole...
And I already took my sleeping pill.
The whole short is based on like the dance macabre artistic movement of like the late Middle Ages, which is really like centered around skeletons and the Grim Reaper and people like in graveyards and stuff. And I'm sure they've seen skeletons.
People were really fucked up in the Middle Ages.
I mean, they didn't have entertainment. It's not like they had like a Freddy Krueger movie to watch.
True. But like, okay, back in those days, they would also put on like passion plays and like create giant, like, whale-like, hell-like figures and try to throw people in them, so...
I mean, we make horror movies today, so it's a similar thing, yeah.
We were just having a conversation earlier today about the Scream movies.
Yeah, it's just, we have to scare ourselves. All right,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much my skeleton dance corner. It kind of takes me to where I need to be.
Talk about our boy.
All right, we're getting into it. So the shorts released from 1929 to approximately 1930, they're dubbed the Barnyard Years. Are you familiar with this era of Disney shorts?
I mean, I know cartoons from that era. I just never heard it called that.
Okay, so these are the years where Mickey and Minnie, they, like, all their shorts, including all their friends, they all typically take place in a quaint setting, such as a barn or a deep rural area.
Mm-hmm.
The stories of, like, they're not sophisticated, and they mainly are just, like, focused on the synchronized sound effects, which was, like, a huge novelty at the time. And everything was just about a little, like, dance sequence at the barn or at the train station or just in the woods. I don't know. It's just somewhere quaint.
Mm-hmm.
Walt grew up in Missouri, rural Missouri, so I think the barnyard atmosphere is something he's familiar with. It's something he remembers. He cites it as the best years of his life.
Mm-hmm.
He just liked having everything just take place in a rural area.
Something small town, very Americana.
So it kind of, like, sets the setting. So, like, Steamboat Willie's like riverside, like the Mississippi River or Missouri River or something, for example.
Yeah.
You got I don't know, the one, it's like the band sequence where Mickey's the conductor in the woods and Donald Duck shows up with, like, a violin. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I have. I've seen a lot of these. I put in my Disney time as a kid and as an adult.
You want to get into the haunted house? Is this a good time to just...
Yeah, let's get into the haunted house.
All right, then we'll kind of do some, like, fun Disney segments after. All right, so...
Okay.
Where does the haunted house take place? In a rural place, right? It's a rural setting?
Yes, it's kind of like a country-ish setting. You know, Mickey, he's just out and about having a good time. He's got his umbrella and the weather turns.
Yeah.
And, oh, lucky him, there's this personified house just waiting for somebody to come by. Like, the windows are glowing, it looks inviting from far away, and then you get up there and it looks sketchy as fuck.
Do you think Mickey was, like, out on, like, a fun date with Minnie that night?
Like, you know, he just dropped Minnie off at home and then he's walking back to his place.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like that idea. Just like the idea, you know, it's probably like a normal day. They probably went out for, like, the afternoon. They had, like, a fun day in town, Mickey and Minnie. Maybe they brought Pluto along. Who knows? You know, you never know.
Well, if he had Pluto with him, Pluto would have been with him at the haunted house.
That is true. But I feel like Pluto's pretty, I don't know. He kind of likes to do things on his own too, right?
He's a very self-sufficient dog, considering.
He is. I mean, he's gone on his own adventures.
That is true.
But he hasn't had his own movie yet, right? He hasn't had his own movie yet?
He has his own shorts. You just go to the section on Disney Plus, and there's a bunch of Pluto shorts.
There's the one where he's, like, laying out in front of the Christmas tree and admiring it, and those fucking Chippendale are, like, throwing bulbs at him.
My boys, Chippendale. I love me some Chippendale.
Oh, you know I do too. Shout out to the Rescue Rangers.
Chippendale are one of my favorite Disney cartoons.
I'm guessing, you know, it's fallish around the time this adventure takes place, so it gets dark earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey's probably like, "Oh, it's 5. You know, I gotta take Minnie home," and he drops her off cordially at home and kisses her on the hand or something.
Mm-hmm.
She goes in and dreams about Mickey all night, and he starts heading home, and it starts getting darker. I don't know. There's a cold front coming in. The cold front swings in.
Yeah.
Those sound effects, those storm sound effects, were really good.
They really were.
It sounds like someone banging on, like, wooden blocks, but also like a weird, like, whistle.
Yeah.
Kind of wind. I want to know how they did it. I want to know, like, all the tools.
They used 2 wooden blocks.
Well, obviously that.
And they probably had, like, a whistle that went to different pitches.
Yeah.
Depending on how you play it, like a piccolo or a flute or something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some kind of whistly thing.
Yeah, and I guess you can, like, record it and then, like, speed up the sound.
Yeah.
So it sounds more wind-like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I really liked it. But Mickey, he's out there with his umbrella, and it's like, he loses it. It, like, gets destroyed.
It's gone. It has flown away.
Yeah, so he finds this, like, fun little house that has eyes and a mouth.
Yes.
And he's like, you know what? The weather's turned really bad. I think I'm going to go knock on the door, see what's up, see what's going on in there.
I mean, it looks so inviting.
It really did. It had like
from far away.
I'm not going to lie. The silo that was next door to the house looked like a penis.
Oh, God, of course.
I mean, I'll screen grab it. You're not going to deny it. It was...
Oh, I'm not denying it now.
For sure. I mean, I thought you were getting mad at me just because I said it, but...
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mickey shows up to the house, and he, like, knocks on the door, and there's, like a weird, like, mudroom type thing that he enters in first.
Little entrance, yeah.
He like, knocks on the door, and, like, a big gust of wind comes and blows it away. And he's like, oh, whatever, I'll just go in. I'm just going to invite myself in. Who cares? Like, I don't care who lives here. Is this
At the very least, I should tell them their door blew off.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes in, and it's just like a normal, like, entryway type room, like a living room, I guess it's supposed to be. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's just like you walk in and there you are in the living room. They got it's a nice inviting spot. Mickey's just checking shit out.
Yeah, there's a chamber pot nearby, just like in the middle of the room.
Or it was the tobacco spittoon.
That might have been the tobacco spittoon. I think the chamber pot was upstairs.
Yeah, the chamber pot was for sure upstairs.
I want to point out that the censors were wildly upset that there was a chamber pot and an outhouse featured in the short. They tried to fight it, but we were pre-code. We were pre-Hays code. So, Disney's like, fuck you guys. I'm putting it in. I don't care.
Yes.
Let's be salacious.
Let's just be honest about the American household.
So Mickey's in the house. He's in there. Things are a little peculiar, right? Things are a little odd. Things are a little awkward.
Things are not quite as neat as they possibly could be. Things look a bit run down.
Yeah, there's cracks in the wall.
There's floorboards that are kind of uneven. Something's not right. The house is kind of empty.
Do you think this is the house that Garfield went to on Garfield Halloween Adventure?
No.
No, you don't?
No, this one is long destroyed.
Okay. You think this one was taken down right after Mickey's adventure?
I'm pretty sure some other farmer probably stumbled upon it and burned it to the ground.
I mean, well, we know that Mickey lives near a river because of Steamboat Willie. Mm-hmm. Garfield apparently lives near, like, a river because of him going down a river on a raft with Odie. So I don't know. Maybe this is like Mickey's Island. Who knows?
This wasn't an island, though. This is the middle of farmland.
We don't know that, though. We don't know that for sure. This could be an island. Could be Nantucket.
I guess it could be, yeah.
Yeah. Is this like the house of the Wings family? Who knows? We don't know.
Could be. It could be Joel and Brian's house.
But some weird things start happening. Mickey finds himself going down a hallway. He's like looking for somebody, I guess, right? Like anybody, because the lights.
He's looking for somebody.
The lights were on.
Yeah, he figures somebody has to be home.
And then all of a sudden, like the lights go out. Mm-hmm. The lights go dim. It gets dark. He like lights a match. We get like a weird Al Jolson-y mammy type scene where I don't know, it's kind of awkward. We're not going to talk about it. And then the lights come back on, and he hears like a tapping. There's like a tapping coming. Something's going on. Someone's coming. It sounds just like that. Just like
my acrylic nails against my laptop.
I was going to say, I don't know if those are acrylic nails going against a laptop or the actual sound effect from the haunted house, but that's the noise. And this like cloaked figure arrives, and he's moving very like rhythmically. It's like kind of frightening in a way.
Yeah.
And he like shrieks. All these like skeletons appear from nowhere, and there's a piano, a grand piano, like in the corner of the room. Mickey's like, I don't know what's going on. And this cloaked figure is like, he points to the piano and he's like, play.
Yeah, like he's like, I don't play the piano, man.
And I love like
he's like, I don't play.
This is not like our regular Mickey Mouse voice, by the way. It's like old timey Walt Disney voice. Because Walt Disney does the voice of Mickey in this, by the way. I just want to throw this out there. I looked it up.
Yes.
Mickey's like, I don't think I'm going to play. And he like points again. He's like, play or I'm going to kill you. And he's like, all right, I'm going to play.
Mickey's like, okay. Because it's got like these two big pedals that look more like the kind of like organ pedals. Because it's definitely an organ because it's got the two layers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so Mickey just kind of like takes his hands and kind of just like flatly pushes them down. And then moves to another set of keys and pushes them down. And to another, and like you see like the keyboard like move down with Mickey's hands because of that style of animation.
Oh yeah, it's like really like bendable. It's
Yes.
like a slinky like. So Mickey starts playing the same exact song from the Skeleton Dance. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Like,
Of course.
this was the thing that Walt Disney did. He reused a lot of elements because I guess these were things that were played at like movie houses.
Yeah.
You know, you might not like it's played a few times and it's done. Like you never hear from it again.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a good thing to do. So you could recreate things that you've done before to show to audiences that might not be able to see the previous film.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. So it then turns into like a weird music video now. So now we kind of get the skeletons, they're dancing around.
So the Grim Reaper type dude basically kind of like makes Mickey able to actually play.
Yeah.
And he starts playing and then the skeletons start dancing.
And it's great. And we just, looking at it from now, from 2020, you're like, whatever. Like, I've seen thousands and thousands of cartoons. But you really got to like go back in time and you got to think of this from like a 1929 perspective because this is wild. This is wild. And this kind of brings us into the Disney process. Disney, he kind of did this thing. So like he started off very basic. He would draw a picture. He would take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And then like slightly change it and take a picture of it and then kind of do like a flip book type thing. But he really revolutionized synchronizing sound to these pictures. The fact that he was able to get like him talking and Mickey talking at the same time is something that like blew audiences away. So like these stories are really simple.
Yeah.
Basically just Mickey playing a piano, skeletons dancing, doing amazing things for the time. Kind of gets to a point in the song where Mickey is like, all right, I'm not going to play anymore. And he stops playing the piano. And he's like, all right, this is my time to escape. And we get like a fun like 30-second chase scene of like him trying to like open up doors and there's skeletons everywhere. And he like ends up jumping out a window and he lands in the backyard and there's the outhouse there. And he like opens, I don't know why he opens up the outhouse door. He should have just ran.
He should have, but like, okay, why do they always run up the stairs in a horror movie?
Do you think it originates from this silly symphony?
Maybe.
Ooh, conspiracy corner.
Conspiracy corner.
One thing that I want to bring up is, why is there a lot of skeletons in this house? Is this like...
I don't know, man.
Is there a serial killer in this town? Is Pete a serial killer?
Or is it just, like, was it the whole family? Because, like, when Mickey goes into that one bedroom and the bed comes out from, like, the closet or whatever, the Murphy bed.
Yeah, there's, like, a husband-wife.
Yeah, it's a husband-wife, and they're the ones that have the, chamber pot.
Yeah, and the lady skeleton is wearing, like a head wrap.
Yeah.
It's... Dog corner. Sorry for dog corner.
Sophia was having a moment.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like Mickey is living in a town where there is some dastardly things going on. That this house has like dozens of skeletons. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? We didn't think about it. I mean, they're jovial skeletons. They're dancing. So
yeah.
Was it the Brady kids? I don't know. Are the Brady kids ghosts in the future in the 70s? Who knows?
I mean, I'm like, dude, you're a few decades early.
The Brady kids could be ghosts. You never know.
I mean, they could be.
They always seem out of place. Like, no matter what decade they're in. Let's be real. Especially the 90s.
I feel like the Bradys could be more in place today than back then.
Oh, for sure. But I feel like the 90s Brady kids are really just the ghosts of the 70s Brady's kids.
There had to have been some weird, like...
event?
Witness protection situation going on. Where they're like, if we just act like this, nobody will ever find us. Obviously, they were hiding from Carol's first husband.
We'll get into it in depth when we do the Brady Bunch movie one day, eventually. All right, so that is pretty much the haunted house. So I kind of want to go into like this era of Disney in general because I don't know if we'll ever revisit again. I don't know. I mean, we might. Who knows?
We may. You never know, boo. You never know.
But I kind of want to take us into like the timeline of everything. And you ready? You sitting down? You sitting down for this?
Yeah. I'm ready. Is your sleeping pill kicking in, man?
No, is yours?
No.
No. So
no.
So a number of animators, they tried to copy Disney's formula in the early 1930s. So have you ever heard of Bimbo or Bosco or Scrappy or Cubby?
No.
I didn't think so. So these were characters that other animators tried to copy, and they pretty much just tried to do the Disney formula. But Disney, he's like, we got to go forward. And he mastered the limp synchronization. And then he was like, all right, we got that down. We know we can watch skeletons dance. We can watch, I don't know, Donald play Turkey in the Straw on a violin.
Yeah.
You know, how many times can we do that? Like, it's getting tired. We got to advance this. We got to move forward. So he was like, in 1934, he announced, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do a feature-length cartoon. You know what? You love these 6-minute shorts?
Yeah.
How about like an hour and 20 minutes of this? So he's like, we're going to do it. And everyone was like, oh, like, it's impossible. Like, there's no way you can do this. It's impossible. In 1936, he signed a deal with RKO Radio Pictures, which no doubt helped pave the way for 1937's. You know this.
I know it.
What came out?
Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
Which is the first full-length cell animated feature film ever. It was amazing. So it's just wild. So like he basically hired like hundreds and hundreds of people. They all just like all were assigned a part. They drew it out. And then they bought a device called the Moviola. Do you know what a Moviola is? Have you ever heard of this?
Oh, I know I've heard of it, but like, is it like the camera that's up high above and then it like takes the one picture at a time thing, or?
No, that was just like the normal like animation style camera thing. So a Moviola,
Okay.
It's basically like a movie projector, and the original idea was for like, you know, the average American person would buy a Moviola and they could watch a silent movie in their home, but it costs $600 1920 money, which equates to like $7,000 today.
This bitch looks complicated.
So the only people who ever bought a Moviola was film studios. So this allowed movie makers to shoot film that day and then watch it right after. They could just throw it on the Moviola and watch it, and they can make edits like as they're making the movie.
The dailies.
The daily. It basically created the dailies. So it worked for Disney. And he found a way to make it work for him. So I don't know. It's wild. It's such a fun time. Such a fun time to be alive, I guess. Which we weren't. We weren't born yet.
No, we weren't.
But I got some other fun Disney tidbits if you want to like close out on some.
Yeah, let's get some fun Disney tidbits.
All right, so you're familiar with the Mickey Mouse Club, right?
Yeah. Who's the leader of the club that's made for you and me? MICKEYMOUSE.
Are you familiar with the real life pre-television series Mickey Mouse Club?
Say what?
In 1929, when all these Mickey Mouse shorts started popping up, these clubs just started forming, and they would meet every weekend at the local movie house, and they would watch the shorts, like the Mickey Mouse shorts.
Okay.
It was kind of a thing for a while, but then like in the mid 1930s, Disney Studios shut it down. So this is like prequel to the way Disney is today, where they just want to like shut shit down.
Yeah.
As you know, this phenomena somehow found itself into mainstream with the 1955 to 1959 television series, The Mickey Mouse Club, which starred our gal pal Annette Funicello.
Yep.
There was a 1977 revival, which had Lisa Whelchel, who you may know as Blair Warner from Facts of Life, was in it.
Yes. Our favorite of the Facts of Life girls.
Yeah, shout out to Blair, friend of the show. Call us, tweet us, tell us what it's like to be a headmaster at a...
Tell us what it's like to be on Survivor.
That's right?
Yeah, she was on Survivor and she like didn't use her fame to get on.
I forgot about that.
She just like used like herself as Lisa in like 2005 or whatever it was.
Ooh, we have to do a Lisa episode of Survivor for the podcast. I don't know.
I think that was actually maybe the last time I tried to watch Survivor, and then I just got so bored in the premiere episode. I was like, fuck it.
Hold on, Susan Hawk, Lisa Whelchel. Who would you vote for if you were in the voting committee?
Lisa. I mean, dude.
Shout out to her. And shout out to her being in like I think she's in like Tyler Perry movies too. I feel like I've seen her in a few of them.
Yeah, she did a couple of Lifetime movies and some Hallmark.
Who has the better career, Lisa Whelchel or Nancy McKeon?
I feel as though Nancy stayed busy and popular for quite a while, but she pulled back. And a little while after she pulled back, Lisa came back on Survivor, kind of had her little spurt of popularity, and now she's kind of just steady. When's the last thing you saw Nancy in?
I couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah, like, she didn't even come in for the last Facts of Life movie.
Yeah, because she was in like a Lifetime movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But hold on. Who would you save in a good son scenario? Lisa or Nancy?
Lisa.
Lisa? Ooh.
I was always Team Blair.
You know what? My loyalty ebbed and flowed, because like there's definitely like Joe episodes that you're like, yeah, Joe, and then there's definitely like Blair episodes that you're like, oh yeah, Blair. But Blair had cousin Jerry.
True.
And I think Joe's cousin sucked. I remember Joe's cousin came in one time and she sucked. Maybe Blair wins the upper hand, but who knows? Maybe the next time when we formally get to do the Facts of Life and we don't lose the episode due to Kat forget to hit save as, we'll revisit. We'll revisit it.
Listen, I tried. I don't know. It was a bad time, okay?
All right.
Okay, so actually, okay, so the last item on Lisa and Nancy's filmographies, according to Wikipedia, is the exact same movie, You Light Up My Christmas.
Okay.
From Lifetime.
What year?
So from 2019.
Oh.
So 2019.
So like less than a year ago.
Yeah, I think we were going to watch it and then we forgot about it.
Well, you know what? Add it to the list, Kat. Add it to the list. We'll do it in 2027.
Yeah.
But I feel like we haven't talked about all the Mickey Mouse clubs. I feel we need to end on a high note for Kat.
Yes.
We got the 1989-1994 revival, which helped launch the careers of Ryan Gosling, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chasez, Kerry Russell.
J.C. Chasez.
How do you say it? J.C. Chasez?
J.C. Chasez, yeah. Like, what the hell did you even pronounce? What was that?
I said Chasez. Chasez. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I mean, well, I'm going to say Tony DeLuca in an upcoming episode, and I really meant Tony Lucas, so... That's true. So you know what?
I know. So if you guys can figure out why we're talking about Tony from MMC...
Ooh, is this a Easter egg?
If anybody can figure out what we're doing... Oh my god, I just thought of something, and I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, for way down the future, like sometime in the new year.
All right, hold on. I'm doing a refresh.
Which one? Oh, this is it. I'm pretty sure.
This is us.
Oh my god, I'm going to send this to you. It's amazing. Oh my god. Oh, wait. I don't want to send a tweet. I almost tweeted it out to like the whole world.
Well, you could have quickly deleted it. All right.
Okay, there it is.
All right, okay. Maybe more in the January doldrums. Maybe we'll hit up this.
Yeah.
Everyone put on their thinking caps, because there's something wild coming up in January.
Right now, Heather is like, what did Kat look up?
Do you have anything to add for Mickey Mouse's The Haunted House before I ask the age-old question? Anything we missed?
I don't really think there is, except that, Mickey Mouse wears gloves so that you can see his hands. That's like why all those cartoon characters wear gloves, is so that you can like see their hands and differentiate them, especially like back in the day during the black and white cartoons.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even if you watch the skeleton dance, they show an owl. Mm-hmm. The owl's like all black.
Yeah.
You just see like the shapes of the owl and the eyes.
Yeah.
You always see the eyes. The eyes light up apparently. Mm-hmm. Always light up. So I'm gonna ask the age-old question on a scale of 1 out of 5 chamber pots. How many chamber pots?
Really? It wasn't 1 out of 5 dancing skeletons?
Well, there's only 4 skeletons. So, well, that were dancing.
I was gonna say, man, there were way more skeletons.
All right, how about 1 out of 5 grand piano organs? How many grand piano organs would you give this Disney animated short, all the way from 1929?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
3.5? Ooh, that was a lot higher than you thought it. I thought you were gonna give it like a low-ass number for some reason. I don't know why.
Always surprising you, Patrick. Always surprising you.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 also, because I actually thought, when I sent you the link to this, I thought we were gonna be watching The Mad Doctor, which is the animated short in which Pluto gets kidnapped and Mickey goes to save him. but it's also kind of like a haunted house, and I think there's skeletons in it too. So that's what I thought we were watching. But then I started watching this, and I was like a little upset. But I was like, you know what? Let's just do it because I already sent you the link, and you probably already watched it.
You're like, I already sent her the link. Fuck it.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll do the Mad Doctor next year. But fun fact: if you watch a lot of the early Disney movies, Mickey's kind of like an asshole in a lot of them. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
He kind of like beats up animals and other stuff.
Yeah.
It was a thing when the Hays Code came along, especially for animated shorts. They weren't allowed to like be scary. They couldn't have monsters in them anymore. And Mickey had to be nicer, and he couldn't like throw things at animals anymore. So he couldn't like beat up an owl for no reason.
Be like, fuck you, owl. That's like my boyfriend. There's a reason like most of my owls are not up.
Like in Steamboat Willie, he like throws a potato at a parrot. So like they couldn't show that in animated shorts anymore. So I feel like that kind of ushered in the happier, nicer era of Disney. So maybe it was a good thing, the Hays Code.
It was probably a good thing.
That was just like a fun little.
At least the way it directed Disney.
And it led to a lot more entertaining cartoons. Shorts, I think. I think once after like a few years, like I want to say like mid-30s, even into the 40s, into the 50s, Disney really perfected the storytelling process. He started using storyboards, and he really like threw in like plots, and you got not just this. It wasn't just a musical video.
Like, okay, can we like be real? Like, have you watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as an adult?
I watched it when it came out on DVD like 20 years ago. That's the last time I saw it. And I was an adult. I was like 18, so yeah.
Yeah. So like, okay, pull up your Disney Plus, because I know you got it. Watch Snow White, and you'll be like, this is kind of boring.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight, but
it's a little slower than, what you're going to get from a Disney movie now.
It's a lot slower than Aladdin.
Ugh, Aladdin. Aladdin's not my favorite.
I mean, part of the charm is just the animation. This was like mind-blowing. This is the first full-length animated feature that ever came out. So you gotta like imagine like the manpower that was put into doing this.
Oh yeah.
And after they did all these rough sketches, and they sent it to like the 90210 school building where all, like the room full of pretty women like colored it.
I mean, it's a beautiful movie. It's just it's slow compared to what you get today.
Oh, I mean, for sure. Like everything like lives in a computer now. They just say like we want Mickey to fucking drive a car, and they just write that. They just type that, and Mickey's driving a car like 8 minutes later.
Can I be real? Computer animated Mickey Mouse and all that stuff right now. Of course, then there's also this weird there's that weird old fashioned Mickey that they do now, but it's like computer animated. Like it's just where he looks kind of like there's something just like wrong, and you're kind of like, did Mickey do crack or something?
I mean, I think he always did. But now it's just more noticeable.
Like the first time I saw it, I was like, bitch, what is this?
I mean, I kind of like the stories to him, but I mean, I get what you're saying. I get your point. But I mean, I'm kind of excited that they're still trying to do like the 2D animation instead of the 3D animation. I don't know, good for them for trying to keep it alive, but it's not really working because little kids hate 2D animation.
Like, okay, not gonna lie, I love Axton. We've talked about this before in previous episodes. Like the stuff he and my other two nephews watch is all like the 3D computer animated stuff. If you put them down to watch something hand drawn, like say an old Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're like, whoa, They're
baffled by the idea of someone hand drawing something and then coloring it and the whole process. Yeah, it's wild. We've definitely talked about this, and we'll definitely revisit it again.
Yeah,
I'm sure at some point. Maybe when we do a Nicktoon.
Oh my god! Oh, they're bringing back Rugrats done by computers.
They are? Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my god! I saw something about it the other day, like yesterday.
I don't know how I feel about it. Send me the link.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you because there's something. I just saw it.
I'm excited for next week. We've already talked about it before, but we're going to say it again. We're going to do the episode of Boy Meets World where Corey gets electrocuted, plugged in a microwave, and he goes back to the 1950s,
Mhm.
and everyone thinks he's a communist or something, or a spy, or a Russian or something. I don't know.
They think he's a Russian spy.
It's wild. It's wild. And I may be slightly intoxicated in it, so get ready. Let's go, girls. Get ready for it.
I honestly don't even remember. Like, we recorded that so long ago.
All right, but where can you follow our Wild Adventures Cat, also the author? Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at VeryPodcast. Please don't shame us for using sleeping pills. It is what it is. You can follow us on Tumblr, Instagram, and Facebook at A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept imitations in the form of lasagna. You can find us at averyspecialpodcast.com, saltyrockmedia.com, and you found us somehow, so subscribe, like, review, love us, and there's a Patreon you can subscribe to too.
Alright, and as always, girl,
Bye!
watch the skies for like a fun, rubber hosey, happy, but secretly haunted house blown in the wind.